Hello students, welcome to my channel. In this lecture, we'll be starting chapter 2 of NCERT Computer Science class 11th. Okay, we have completed chapter 1 and chapter 2 deals with encoding schemes and number system. And in this video, we'll be studying about encoding schemes. Okay. So now before starting with and getting to what is an encoding scheme, we should first know why was it ever required to develop an encoding scheme. Okay. So now we have studied in the previous chapter that the computer only understands binary language, which is in the form of binary digits, which are zeros and ones. Now we have also studied that a keyboard is an input device through which you specify commands to the computer while typing on the keyboard, right? But the keys on the keyboard are in the form that is understandable by humans. So how does the computer know that when you are pressing the key, say H, you want the character H to be pressed? How does the computer actually understand that this key represents this particular character? So this happens with the help of certain codes. So every character, whether it is a number on the keyboard, whether it is an alphabet on the keyboard, or any symbol that are present on your keyboard, each symbol is represented by a special unique code. Okay, and when you press any type of key on the keyboard, this particular key representing whichever symbol, that is converted into a particular code, and that code is then converted into binary so that the computer can understand it. Okay, so now let's take an example that you press the key representing capital A. Now the unique code that represents capital A. Now you must know that there are different codes for uppercase and lowercase alphabets. Okay, so for uppercase A, the unique code that represents this symbol is 65, and this 65 will then be represented like this in the binary form for the computer to understand that okay, the user intended to type capital A. Okay, so how this particular code is assigned to capital A and how did we get this binary representation? This is what we are going to study in this chapter. Okay, so if we have to understand that what is encoding, the encoding schemes that we are studying, to understand encoding schemes, we must first know what is encoding. So encoding is basically a process of converting any type of symbol or data or character into a unique code, and that unique code basically represents a cipher. So what is a cipher? Cipher is when you convert some data into another type of code such that for the and you convert it because you want to hide some kind of information, then that coded form is known as a cipher. So when a sender codes some information, it creates a cipher, and then when the receiver receives that cipher, he must decipher it. That means convert it back to the original form so that he understands what information the sender wanted to send. Okay, so encoding is the process of creating a cipher by converting the data into a special code. Okay, now when we started working with computers in the earlier times, there was a very big problem of how to make two different computer systems, or the work done on two different computer systems independent of the device, or how to make different systems communicate with each other. So to cross this hurdle, a standard coding scheme was developed that basically allowed every character to be encoded or to be represented by a unique code. Okay, so it was agreed upon by all the computer users and computer developers that every number, every alphabet, and all these characters that you see on the keyboard today, all the symbols, will be represented by a particular code, and that particular coding scheme will came to be known as the American Standard Code for Information Interchange, or it is also known as ASCII or ASCII as you call it in the short form. Okay, so there was a standard fix form a unique code was developed for each symbol that you see on the keyboard today, and this was done so as to standardize the representation of different characters. So the ASCII code was 7 bits in length. Okay, 7 bits means you can represent a total of 128 unique combinations. So how does that happen? See, I have told you previously also that a single bit is able to represent two different combinations or two different digits, 0 and 1. So now if you have two digits, you have two choices for the ones place also, two choices for the tens place also, and therefore how many combinations can be formed? Either both can be 0, one can be 0, other can be 1, or both can be 1. So 2 into 2, that means 2 raised to the power the number of places. These many combinations can be formed, and you can try and go on that when you say 3 digits, two digits here, two numbers here, that means a single bit can represent two numbers. So it takes 2 raised to power 3 equal to 8 combinations. That means you can represent 8 unique combinations using 3 binary digits. So when we have 7 binary digits, sorry, 7 bits, bits is actually binary digit. So when we have 7 places, how many unique combinations can we represent? 2 raised to power 7. Okay, so the ASCII code consisted of 7 bits to represent different alphabets, numbers and different characters on the keyboard, and the total number of unique characters, unique codes that it gave was 128. So now there is an example in your NCERT book that asks you to find out what would be the ASCII representation, or what would be the encoded value of this word data in the ASCII code. Okay, so now see, the ASCII code gives certain values to the characters, like A is given 65, then B is given 66, C is given 67, and D is given 68, and so on till all the capital letters. Okay, so these are the ASCII codes for each character in this word data. Now when you convert this decimal number into binary form, you get this value. How you will convert this? This conversion will be seen in the second part of this chapter in the number systems. Okay, so when you convert each of these and write all these together, it represents the binary code that the actual computer would understand. Okay, so when you type 4 characters, it is not only the 4 alphabets that the computer is processing, it is processing all these bits, all right, all these binary digits. Okay, so the American Standard Code for Information Interchange, or the ASCII, was developed in America or by the Americans or by in a foreign land. Now it did not take care of the Indian languages, obviously. Okay, so the Indian scientists developed a code, or the Indian computer users developed a code that also respected the Indian languages, the regional languages, and incorporated all those Indian scripts within the standard code. So basically, a new code known as the Indian Script Code for Information Interchange, also known as the ISCI, was developed such that the ISCI not only consisted of all the codes that were present in the ASCII code, but apart from this, it also consisted of some unique codes that represented the symbols or the akshars of the Indian languages. So we know that the ASCII code represents 128 unique symbols, which can be alphabets, numbers, or any other symbols, and the remaining symbols were belong to Indian regional languages. So since the ISCI code was developed using 8 bits, so how many total combinations? 256, and since 128 combinations are already present or reserved for ASCII, the remaining 128 symbols or combinations were given to Indian language character set. Okay, so these are the two important characters, the standard codes or encoding schemes that you must know. Okay, now the last one is the Unicode. So as you have seen, we have already studied two encoding schemes, and you must be wondering that if there is ASCII or if there is ISCII, then why do we need the other one? And just like ISCII, other languages, other foreign nations would also have developed their regional codes and standard encodings for their regional languages. Definitely, yes. And that was the biggest hurdle when different people from different parts of the world were communicating with each other via computer. Okay, so how to standardize everything across the world? There was only one way, and that was to develop a uniform code that incorporated all the languages of the world, all different dialects and regional languages spoken across the world. So an encoding scheme that was developed to solve this purpose was known as Unicode, and Unicode basically provides unique character codes to all the characters of different languages, different written languages that are spoken across the world. Okay, so why it was developed? To standardize and to develop a single code that represented all different languages that are written across the world. Okay, so it is Unicode is standard irrespective of the software you are using, irrespective of the hardware you are using or the operating system you are using. And there are three main encoding schemes within the Unicode. The most commonly used, the most common ones are UTF-8, UTF-16 and UTF-32. Okay, so you just have to remember this, that Unicode is something that represents all the unique characters of written languages across the world. Definitely it includes ASCII characters also. So summarizing this lecture, firstly we learned how keyboard characters are understood by computers. Each keyboard character is converted into a unique code or unique representation, and then it is converted into binary code within the computer. Now that unique code can either be defined by ASCII, ISCII or Unicode. In present times it is defined by Unicode. Okay, so what is ASCII? You must know the full form. Why it was developed? It was developed so as to standardize character representation. Okay, the ASCII was initially developed to standardize characters that are represented in computer, but it did not consider standardization across different languages spoken worldwide. That is why there was a need to develop Unicode, because the second code that we studied, the encoding scheme ISCII, it only gave importance to, or it only considered ASCII and Indian written languages. Okay, so ASCII had 7 bits, thus representing 128 unique symbols, whereas ISCII, that used 8 bits, it not only represented 128 ASCII symbols but also 128 Indian regional language symbols. Okay, then Unicode was developed to incorporate all written languages worldwide, and it is independent of the device, the OS and the software. And these are the three main encodings of the Unicode that are used in the present times. So that's all for today's lecture. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you get the notification of the upcoming videos that we upload in future. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to our channel for more such videos on class 11 computer science. Thank you. Till we meet in the next lecture, mind your exam.